You know what, Dan? I want you to take the lead on this one. You've grown the less.
Oh, you want me to take the lead?
Yeah, well, you know what, Dan? It's been 111 episodes. I've done the majority of the leads. I want you to go bold. Just take leadership. Go for it, man.
Welcome to Myths. I'm Matt Huss. And I'm Dan Rhodes. Whether you know about Theseus or you're revising your syllabus, if you want tales with a bit of jest or you just want to hear about incest. What?
What? It's really interesting.
Welcome to Myths. Welcome to Myths.
Hello and welcome to Myths, episode 111. Write it down, 111. Do you see what I did there, maths?
Yes.
Maths Hoss.
Maths.
Hi, it's me, Dan Rhodes, and my co-star.
Co-star. It's me, Matt Hoss. Hi.
Matt Hoss,
How you doing?
See, I called you a star, Matt. Do you like that?
Yeah, and please, I appreciate that. Do you think I'm a star? Do you think I have star quality?
You are to me, Matt.
That's not what I asked. But yeah, it's you know what? I've been reading a book about celebrities. Greg Jenner's Dead Famous, very good. And I think I realized in the last couple of weeks I'm not going to be famous, Dan. I don't think I'm going to.
I think you could be. You are definitely one of the people I could put money on becoming famous. I mean that genuinely.
Oh, thanks, man. What do you think? Okay, let's say if I did get famous. Oh no! Oh
No, I'm
no!
joking.
I bit onto that bait there. But okay, imagine if I was famous. What kind of celebrity do you reckon I would be? Do you reckon I'd be kind of a diva person? Would I be kind of elusive? What kind of comedian do you think I am?
I think you would turn out to be. I actually don't think you'd change too much. I think you would be at risk of becoming one of those celebrities that maybe pushes their own. I think you might become a bit too activisty. I imagine you getting down that rabbit hole, and yeah. And then like falling out with people in the industry because you like have certain views. Yeah.
But I also think that I'm the kind of celebrity that I'll stick to those virtues now, and in 40 years' time, people go, "That guy's fucking cool." You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'll be like, he's old school, man. And then I'll say something racist and ruin it all.
Yeah, exactly. Awful. You'll be that celebrity that does like 40 years worth. That's right. You're going to be famous for 40 years. You're going to do 40 years work of hardcore charity work, philanthropy. You're going to do lots of things for the right reasons. And then, yeah, one story from your past at university is going to come back. And
oh, no.
Yeah. And you'll know exactly and you'll know exactly which person published that story.
Yeah, they'll be like, my confidentials on that horse. I'll be like, God damn it.
Yeah, it'll be like an anonymous source, D. Rhodes.
Yeah, but Dan, how has your week been?
It's been pretty good, thank you, Matt. Yeah, I'm having a good time. Still in lockdown.
Yeah, but you're currently furloughed now.
I am furloughed now, yes. I am one of the many people in the UK that have... Yeah, I never even heard the term furloughed until this whole thing started. Had you?
No, well, I had heard it before, but I
didn't know what it meant.
No, yeah.
But
you were quite furloughed quite late, Dan. So how have you been finding it? Is it nice? Is it boring?
Well, I've only been furloughed a week today, actually. Funny that, yeah.
Ooh,
exactly a week
nice.
Today. Actually, to be honest, I have quite enjoyed it. It's been nice. I mean, when do you ever get just given several weeks off? You know, it's actually quite nice. I'm kind of looking at it positively.
Yeah.
And I think you have to be honest. There's no point dwelling on like, oh, I'm not working, I'm bored. Like, just take the break. I'm going to need to find things to do, that's for sure. But I've enjoyed this week of relaxation.
Well, that's the thing. I think you're still on the honeymoon aspect because there's a drop-off point. There's a certain point where like, well, it's the same day for the 90th day in a row. And yeah, but then again, within that, I found the part of productivity. I've learned how to deal with it, and I've learned how to find my own rhythm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I have been trying to keep busy, and I think I've got plans on how to keep busy. So I just need to stick to a routine. I think that's the important thing. You don't want to be waking up midday every day. You want to kind of stick to. I mean, have a line by all means. Why not? I mean, you're furloughed, but got to find things to do. Go outside. I need to make an effort to. I'm trying to make an effort to go on walks and runs and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. So Dan, you have a lot more time on your hands. You are, you got to do something to keep your mind occupied.
I'm not doing the league table.
No, okay. I thought I'd try. Yeah, one day, I think you'll get so bored you'll do that damn league.
Oh, I will do. Maybe I'll surprise you and do it.
Can you do it for my birthday?
On Christmas Eve.
It's a miracle. A
Yeah,
Christmas
I love
miracle.
that's how much you think. Well, if you start it now, it'll be ready for my birthday. On Christmas.
Oh, well, you know what? Like, and also what I think is quite sad is that as a birthday gift, I would 100% accept you doing your share of the podcast.
Yeah, and
it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like me going, oh, I might edit some episodes for Christmas. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'll do it for your birthday.
No, but I want a proper gift, and this is a bow tie, if anything. So like a little cherry on top. But Dan, guess what?
What?
I have some big news for you.
What have you done?
I've been cancelled by that by an anonymous source. I'm really sorry.
What? Like you've been cancelled from the podcast by an anonymous source?
Yeah, who is this? Danny Rodzi? I don't know.
Do you know it'd be a real shame if one of us got cancelled from this podcast? That shows that someone powerful enough to make that decision was listening to the podcast and decided to go that way rather than hire us for something.
Well, you know, the Queen listens to this podcast. She's pretty influential.
She does. Shout out to Liz.
And, she's pulled a few favors in the past. Hashtag Epstein. And let's move on. I regret saying that.
What's your big news,
have
Matt?
you watched...
I have watched the documentary, yes, on that side note.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, really interesting. Yeah, really interesting.
It's good. Isn't it weird how a lot of rich people get away with paedophilia?
I mean,
that's how it really...
I don't think it's weird. I think it's just a symptom of all the justice system,
or the lack thereof.
Yeah,
the justice system.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that sharp-tongued Matt Hoss. Oh, I'm not pulling my punches anymore. See, activist Matt Hoss. Yeah, I don't give a shit. You know, I'm using my celebrity for good.
You know, that's one of the things I'm going to do for. I've already enrolled. I've enrolled in one of those Harvard University online courses they're giving away for free.
Have you actually?
Yeah, I've enrolled in one yesterday. I haven't started it yet, but yeah, it's mine. It's funny you mention it because one of the ones I'm doing is their most popular one. It's a 12-week. It's just 12 weeks. It's like 6 hours a week. It's just entitled Justice. So it's exploring the political philosophies, the ethics of justice, criminal and otherwise.
So is it like a philosophy course, or are you learning justice? Because I don't. If it's the latter option, I don't.
I'm learning
think
about
it's
justice and all the things that encompasses. Like what is justice, criminal justice systems, how they work and operate in different countries. I'm learning about the political philosophy surrounding justice. I'm learning about the ethics of justice, like what is human rights, what is equality, how do we get it, how does it work, why are people opposed to certain things. It's going to be interesting.
Well, when you say you're learning about justice, it kind of like the second sentence kind of sounded like, you know what, I'm learning about justice. I stole some things. I've been caught by the police.
I mean, maybe I'll learn some stuff like that as well. Like, what is right and wrong? I don't know. Maybe these things will teach me.
Well, it's quite nice that you're having that kind of like
trying to educate myself, you know.
Yeah, you know what, Dan, you strive for knowledge, and I think you thrive learning about stuff. So that's good for you.
I'm also doing a meteorology course as well.
Oh, fucking hell, man. Two very different things.
Well, that's why I figured I could do them at the same time during like furlough, because like I can dedicate like a day to one and a day to another, and I won't get confused because one's about the weather and the science of the weather, and the other one's about like it's more humanities and one's science.
I genuinely thought meteorology was meteorites and asteroids.
Oh no, yeah, it's the study of the weather.
What's sad about that? My brother genuinely has a degree in meteorology, and I've only just realised what it was.
That's funny.
But talking about my brother, a favourite of this podcast, a friend of the show, not a family of the show. He revealed to me this week that he's having a child, which is very exciting.
That is big news.
Uncle Hoss over here.
Clap, clap, clap.
Do you applaud a baby?
I don't know. Do you? I don't know. We're going to have to learn quickly. Well, you're going to have to learn quickly. He's not my niece or nephew.
Wait, it's not yours? I thought you were the dad.
I don't know, actually.
But yeah, it's cool. It's nice. It's kind of it's sweet, but also unexpected, but in a good way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's going to be good. I think that's going to be good.
Yeah.
What kind of uncle? What kind of uncle are you going to be, Matt?
I'm going to be very activisty. In 40 years' time,
Yeah.
I might get same as my celebrity. But no, I think I'll be kind of. You know what? I think it's quite cool. I think Uncle is a sweet spot because you get to hang out with a kid and be a nice part of their life, but a very positive, friendly soul. But also, you don't have to deal with the bullshit. You very much you walk in, have fun, see you later, pump them through. Like it's a grandparent syndrome. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you can
get
have
them
fun
at
with
the
it and then
best.
just give it back when it gets shitty.
Yeah, well, literally, yeah. Like there you go, clean its bum. See
Yeah,
you
you'd be
later.
like, oh, it pooed on me. Fun's over. Cheers, Dad.
Oh no, my dad pooed on me.
Yeah, actually, on
Oh
that note,
no.
your mum and dad are they excited about becoming grandparents?
My dad is confused but happy. If you know what I mean. He's like, "All right, that'll be nice, son," and which is the most emotion he's shown in years. It's like it's his version of crying. But my mum currently, the baby has been in public existence for just over a week, and my mum has already spent over £200 on the baby.
So that tells you something. So you got very polar.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like my mum is like this is her catnip. She's been waiting for this for years. This is her Olympic Games. She's like been studying it for ages. She's ready for it.
She feared this day would never come.
Yeah, and like she looked at me and said, "No chance." You know, what I mean, like she's listened to the podcast. But yeah, but like so this is a very unexpected surprise for her as well. But I think I'm not sure if this is a good look on me, Dan. But I'm also a little bit jealous of the baby already because, like, people are already fawning over it, and the baby's due date is like mid-December, and I'm very much like, oh, that's my pal. Get your own birthday. You know what I mean? Like,
even if it's not directly your birthday, but just even if it's that week, it will become overshadowed. But you'll find that you'll have like the baby, like that week if the baby's born, people will genuinely have forgotten it's your birthday.
Yeah, and
so let's say your birthday is the 24th of December and the baby's born on the 19th even. People will, oh my God, the 19th, the baby comes, and then a few days later, it's still baby. It'll get to the 24th, and everyone will be like, oh, shit, that's a thing. Matt's birthday.
Who gives a shit?
Your parents will be like,
who? I can't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like who is my brother? You know what I mean? Like, I need a lot more attention than that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm kind of a little bit upset by that.
Are you gonna be? I reckon if it's gonna have a similar birthday, it better just have the same birthday as you. Then you guys can like you and the baby can
Well,
because my dad has the same birthday as my cousin, so his niece.
Well, that's sweet, but I also think,
and his was definitely overshadowed for for quite a bit.
I feel a little bit like Scar from The Lion King. Do you know what I mean? I feel like the evil uncle. You know what I mean? I'm like, ha ha ha! Welcome to my lair. I am the new Lion King. Ha ha ha!
Are you gonna regret saying that the same way you regretted saying you were like the guy from You?
I think Scar's better than the guy from You, but also
you did try and usurp the pride.
Yes, and pride I do have. But yeah, I don't know. I think I am quite happy about it, but also yeah, I'm kind of like. I'm not, I think I'll be a cool uncle. Do you think you'll be a cool uncle, Dan?
Yes, I think I would. I think that's a role I was born to play.
Yeah, you know what? Like, if I had a kid, I was going to say let you see it, but yeah, I heard you're cancelled for something, so maybe not. Maybe you should have a distance. But anyway, but yeah, also it's been kind of a babyish week because my friend just one of my best friends from school has just had a baby. I just went to see it today actually, so it's really nice.
Oh, it's really nice. Can I also just say, last thing on this, if your niece or nephew becomes a famous comedian, how quickly will it take before you take credit for its genius?
You think I'm going to steal its genius? I think think there would be like an accident in a comedy club. That's all I'm saying.
People will be like, oh, Matt Hoss, uncle to Bloody Bar Hoss, the famous comedian. And you'll be like, yes, that was all me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I would be very much, I'll be straight like, oh, yeah. I essentially won the awards for them, really. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But I think listeners, if you want to get in touch, they have yet to name their baby, and they're currently wanting baby names. So why, if you have like a Norse or a Greek or Roman myth, like a name of someone that you want to suggest, send it forward. They're very middle class. They'll probably take it. So get your suggestions in. Email us at mythspodcast@gmail.com. That'd be nice, wouldn't it, Dan?
That would be nice, yeah.
I mean, imagine me going to my sister-in-law being like, "Hey, the people from my podcast suggested your baby, yeah, they're gonna name it for the rest of your life," and she's gonna enjoy that. She's a big fan.
She's never
Listened
listened
to
to
one
this shit.
episode.
Yeah.
She listened to one episode, but every time I mention it, refused to listen to more. All right, I think we should get into some more myths.
Norse myths. Norse myths. Norse myths. Norse myths.
Daniel. It's been a while since I've heard your luscious voice, and it's time to go into part 2 of Beowulf. So, Dan, what happened last time in Beowulf? Should we try and
I'll do a really
remember
quick
as much-
summary, as you know I'm famous for doing.
It really stresses me out, but here we go. I can't really complain because we talked about babies for 15 minutes, so go ahead.
There is a town, which I can't remember the name of.
Hrongar?
It's a
I'll have a
beautiful
look for
village
it.
somewhere in Scandinavia. And
Hrothgar. No, that's the king.
Hrothgar. No, that's the king, yeah. There's a King Hrothgar. Anyway, this guy is the king of a town. He has a really big family tree because they went on about that a lot. I remember last time.
Oh, yeah.
Genealogy. Anyway, there's this town and there's a king, and every year or so, this creature called the Grendel, they didn't really know what he was, whether he's this humanoid demon, water demon thing, comes from the mountains, and on days when they're celebrating, and it basically ransacks the village and kills loads and eats loads of people. And this has been plaguing them for, what was it, 12 years, something like that?
12 years, yeah.
And loads of people had died, loads of soldiers and civilians, and they were sick of it. So they tried to call on some people to come and kill the monster. One of the guys that came was a guy called Beowulf, who is the namesake of the saga. And he is a badass, isn't he, Matt? And he came.
He's badass.
And night number 1, he kills the monster. Well, he ripped his arm off, didn't we? He ripped the monster's arm off.
And this is a big moment, the ripping of the arm. And it kind of solidifies Beowulf's idea as a hero.
Also, Beowulf does it. He's so macho. He's like, I'm not even going to fight the thing with the demon. What did he say? The demon doesn't have weapons, so I'm not going to. It was the stupidest thing ever. He was like, the demon's unarmed, so I'm going to be unarmed and meet it as equals, which is stupid because he's a demon, so you're not equal. And he's stripped naked, didn't he? And he still managed to defeat the monster. He rips his arm off, and a few people lost their life, but for the most part, the monster, so far, I'm hoping, is gone.
So we talked about the Hrothgar, the king, who thanks Beowulf, but I believe at the end, Hrothgar adopted Beowulf as a son.
Oh, he does, and makes him the heir to the kingdom. And his son is like, excuse me? You've known this guy one day.
Yes, and more so than his actual son, Hrothgar's nephew, called Hrolf, may have some opinions about it in the future. So, I think we should carry on there. Let's see what else happens in part 2.
Please begin.
The Danish king and his thanes thought they could keep sleep peaceful. Oh, it's a terrible start.
Take 2. Take 3.
The Danish... Dan, you fucked me off. The Danish king and his thanes thought they could sleep peacefully in the mead hall at night. But their peril was far from over. Grendel may have died in his lair from his wound and loss of blood, but Grendel's mother mourned for the loss of her monstrous offspring. Grendel's mother was even more hideous and evil than her son, brackets Grendel, was. I like how Grendel's mother was more evil than her son, Grendel. Obviously. The night when the Danes celebrated victory, Grendel's mother decided to avenge her son's death upon the unsuspecting Danes. Ooh. Okay, so I kind of like this so far instantaneously because it's very much like getting someone's dad to beat up another kid just because, they said something in school. You getting a parent involved. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, it's like that, only if instead of getting a parent involved with a bully, that person had literally ripped your son's arm off.
and he died.
And he died.
I mean, like Dan.
Oh,
I
why are
went
you
to
getting
school in
involved,
North
Matt? All I
Yorkshire.
did was all my son did was rip your son's arm off and kill him. Why are you getting involved? Oh, you're such a.
All right, point accepted. But I grew up in North Yorkshire, and that happened every day, man. Like,
Every day.
dinner ladies were ripping off arms. It's fine. When the Danes and his honoured guests were asleep, Grendel's mother snatched one of Hrothgar's thanes, murdering him whilst he slept. The creature immediately returned to her home. Taking the thane's carcass with her. Beowulf was not sleeping in the hall that night. When they found out that one of his thanes was missing, Hrothgar knew that Grendel's mother had killed Aesir, a loyal advisor. Everyone was distressed that they faced a new crisis, but Beowulf promised to kill Grendel's mother. Okay, so in a week, you got Grendel and his mum coming in. Bam, bam. Quite a significant lot.
So Grendel's come one night, but Beowulf's ripped his arm off. He's dead. They're like, "Yay, let's have a party!" By the way, they all sleep in the mead hall, don't they? Because Vikings all have sleepovers in the main hall of the kingdom. Yeah. Pretty cool. And they're all sleeping, and then they're like, "Yay, the party's over! Woo!" And then immediately the next day, Grendel's mother, who I assuming is even more fearsome, has just rocked up and started all over again.
It would kind of insinuate that there is a whole pack of Grendels. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just one monster; it's several monsters, and it's better for the lore for it to be the mother.
Also, it implies that they didn't know about her before. I'm getting the vein that maybe they did know about her, and they were like, "Oh, by the way, we should have warned you. His mum's a badass."
Yeah, you know the guy who just ripped his arm off. Yeah, her mum. His mum was like way worse. You can't rip her; she's mental. You know what I mean? Like,
Also, I like the idea that this guy went missing, and then everyone just like sheepishly looks at Beowulf, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm on it," and he just gets up, like walks
that's also
out.
a lot of pressure as well. Like, because you know how like Theseus was like looking for like a win, and like he got lucky that one time, and now everyone assumes he's a hero. It's like, well, I didn't say I would sign up for this. Do you know what I mean? Like, you think I'm a hero, but I just got lucky once. Do you know what I mean?
But Beowulf hasn't got lucky just once, because he also killed that monster during a sea race, like a 5-day sea race. He's killed like he has got a track record as being like this badass
Hero
like creature killer. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
it's like the Witcher.
Yes. Nice. So he's promised to kill Grendel's mother.
They tracked the monster to the lake, where they found Aesir's severed head, which distressed everybody, as it does. They found the lake filled with unnamed serpents in the water. By the way, can I just laugh at how they have to say unnamed? Because in Norse mythology,
everything's named. Like, go and get my cape and bundle. Let's go into the fish pond. But that is an unnamed serpent.
Yeah, they poured the tea from an unnamed teapot, and they're like, "Oh, I'm like they have to state that because everything has a goddamn name." Beowulf armed himself with a mail corselet and borrowed the sword from Unferth. The sword was called, of course, it has a name, Huntring. Unferth was the one who taunted Beowulf the previous day. That guy. Beowulf then dived into the water, seeking the lair of Grendel's mother. Grendel's mother, sensing human intruder in the water, snatched Beowulf. Other creatures in the water also attacked the hero, but his corselet protected him. At the bottom of the lake, Grendel's mother brought the hero into a vaulted chamber, the lair of Grendel and his mother. He immediately swung his sword right on the He immediately swung his sword right on the beast's head. Though the Huntring was a powerful sword in the battlefield, it was useless against Grendel's mother. Discarding the sword, Beowulf tried to fight the creature with the fens with his bare hands. Grappling with the monster by its shoulders, he flung Grendel's mother to the ground. The monster leapt back to her feet and tried to dash the hero to the ground. The creature then drew her dagger, but his corselet saved his life.
Both of their weapons are useless, and this is quite a detailed description. In most of our sources, it's very much just like, and then they both died. And like, it's quite nice that actually it's an actual nice story, isn't it?
They're like throwing each other around. She's trying to stab him. It hasn't worked. He's trying to cut off her head. It hasn't worked.
Yeah, what are they going to do?
Beowulf saw another sword in the hall. The mighty weapon was possibly forged by a giant.
Yeah, I mean, what a detail. Like, it could have been, but it probably isn't.
It was larger than any sword ever seen, and it was too heavy for one person to lift the massive sword, except Beowulf, obviously. The Geatish warrior seized the sword by the hilt and delivered a powerful stroke that severed the monster's head. With the death of Grendel's mother, Beowulf had avenged Aesir, the Danish thane, and also saved the day. Blah, blah, blah.
Now, Correct me if I'm wrong, and I might be wrong on this, but you've seen the film Beowulf, right?
I have.
In that, doesn't Beowulf's mum, who's Angelina Jolie, get all sexy with him and going, if you have sex with me,
She
you become
basically
king.
seduces him and they bang, yeah.
I was kind of hoping for that because it's been a lonely lockdown and I was hoping for some kind of like Norse porn. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we haven't finished it yet. This is a saga.
Well, like, he's not going to fuck the dead body, is he? Is he?
I
Oh,
don't know.
You're going to get the
But no, because there was a big sensation when the film came out, wasn't there? Because you see Angelina Jolie's essentially she's naked except for she hasn't got nipples, so they said that was fine. So anyway, he's killed her. Bottom line, there just happened to be a sword lying around. Funny that she didn't notice that.
Yeah, and also like why she got it around, and also logistically, how would you import that thing to an underground vault lair? Like, what's the logistics?
It must have just been someone that she's fought before, maybe.
No, that's a good Dan.
Someone that she's eaten before.
Clever. So he's kind of got revenge. As the hero explored the subterranean cave, Beowulf found that the vaulted hall was filled with weapons and treasures. Beowulf was not interested in the treasures, oh no. He had sought Grendel, who had escaped from Heriot. Beowulf found that Grendel had bled to death, but he severed Grendel's head to take back with him as proof of his victory. The giant sword melted from the poisoned blood. Beowulf discarded the now useless sword and retrieved Unferth's sword, Hrunting.
The one that he was originally using that failed miserably.
Yes. Also, that pronunciation of Hrunting right there, I did really well. Hrothgar and his followers thought the brave champion must have died fighting Grendel's mother, so they sadly returned to Heriot, after waiting for hours for their hero's return. But the Geatish warriors stayed and waited for their leader's return. Beowulf returned to the surface with Grendel's head. Beowulf's followers were relieved that their leader was still alive, and they rejoiced that their hero had overcome Grendel's mother. There was great rejoicing when Hrothgar and the Danish thanes saw that their saviour had returned triumphantly with Grendel's head. Once again, there was a victory celebration, and Beowulf gave this account, and he told what had happened. When the Danes went to bed, they knew that they no longer needed to fear any more creatures that would attack Heriot. Now, the last 2 nights that's happened and something's gone wrong, so they're like, well, it can't happen a third time, can it?
It's definitely going to happen a third time, I bet you.
Well, let's find out. The next morning, Beowulf announced his need to return home. Hrothgar was sad that the young hero would leave so soon, since he loved his guest like a son of his own. Hrothgar gave some more gifts for the Geatish hero. Beowulf returned the hunting that he borrowed from Unferth. Beowulf returned to his ship and sailed back to Geatland, ladled full of Danish treasures and gifts. I don't think I've got any work as a voice actor anytime soon, Dan.
Funny. In Geatland, Hygelac and his wife, Hygerd, had joyfully welcomed the king's nephew's safe return from Denmark. Once again, Beowulf recounted his adventure in Heriot, his fight with Grendel, and later with Grendel's mother. Beowulf also foretold doom in the Danish royal house. Frau, the daughter of Hrothgar, see how I nailed that, really got my pronunciation down, was due to marry Ingled of the Hruthurbards, so to end the feud between the Cyclings and the Hruthurbards. But what the hell is happening? Sorry, they're doing that annoying thing they do in Norse mythology where they're just giving me loads of pointless exposition about like all the different enemies of the people that he lives with. Let me try again, but this time I'm going to actually understand what I'm saying because I didn't understand a word I was actually saying that whole time. Beowulf was also foretold doom in the Danish royal house. So he's returned home and someone's told him bad news. The bad news is Freyawaru. How are we saying that, Matt?
Freyawaru. Yeah, I think you nailed it first time, to be honest.
Freyawaru, the daughter of Hrothgar, was due to marry Ingeld of the Hrothbards, so to end the feud between the Skydlings and the Hrothbards. But Ingeld would not forgive the Danes for taunting him over his father's death on his wedding day. Beowulf would then display the gifts he had won through friendship with Hrothgar before the hero gave away most of his gifts. I'm confused by this ending.
Yeah, it wasn't really much of an ending, was it?
Basically, he's returned home with treasure and gifts.
It was quite anticlimactic, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's returned home with treasure and gifts, and there is some kind of feud happening between the people that he was just with, the Hrethelbard, and so the King Hrothgar, the main king that Beowulf's just been helping with Grendel, his daughter, Freya, she's obviously due to marry someone. That's the important bit, I think.
Yeah. So that's it for part 2, and we got one more part of Beowulf's journey coming up next, and next week. But now we got to rank part 2. I don't need a Trojan war. It feeds the rich while buries the poor. If you're telling children that I hear my girls they call ain't that fair. I don't need your Trojan war. No. So, Dan, we always rank this out of 40 on 4 different categories. Out of 10, that is life skills, creativity, morals, and WTF. Yeah, did a different order today. So we're going to rank it now, and let's start with life skills, Dan. The practical things that we learnt in this myth. Let's discuss it and analyze it together.
We learn we learn how to swim down into a cave.
We learn how to fight and how to, also manual handling, like lifting a very heavy sword and using it to chop.
We learn how to adapt during a combat situation, a close quarters combat situation.
We learned how to have sex with a dead body. I mean, not to do that. We learned how to sever off a head for two counts of that. We learned how to share our pride and trophies and stuff like that.
Yeah, we learned how to sail home.
We spelunked, which is explored a cave.
we definitely splunked.
Yeah, I mean, Dan, you've been a massive spelunker for years, haven't you?
I have, yeah, big passionate one.
Yeah, you know, you certainly like to go into some caves and spelunk all around. Also, you like having sex.
To be honest, I don't think life skills is. I don't think it's that high.
No, I usually I am a massive penchant for that. Maybe again similar to last week's episode, like Grendel's Mother is quite good at sneaking and killing Aesir and ripping off his head. But
yeah,
honestly,
I think it's 3 or 4.
I think maybe 2 or 3.
2. Go on, give it a 2.
Give it a 2. Go on then, mate.
Give it a 2.
It's not a lot going on.
And then morals.
I guess there's a nice idea of family virtues and values that after someone hurt your own child to go back. I think if this was reframed as a narrative, we would be on Grendel's mother's side. You know what I mean? Like someone killed your son and she's like, I'm going to go out and fight this, like go and get justice. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's nice.
Yeah, but then also we'd have to acknowledge that Grendel was doing horrific things to people.
Yes, but have you ever heard of colonialism?
True.
Well, I didn't know I was going to say that. Sorry. It's not my. I'm not knowledgeable enough. But anyway. But yeah, I still think it's. Yeah, I don't know. It's bad, but also the Danes have responded in the same virtue as well.
Yeah, morally, I think that's literally the only thing is the fact that, well, morally, Beowulf's done his end of the bargain twice now. He's done more than they never asked him to. They only killed him. He was only there on the pretense to kill one monster. He's actually successfully killed 2. And then morally, I guess, yeah, it's just like, has Grendel's mother's been wrong? I don't know. But ultimately, there was something there.
I would also argue it's quite high, not high, but it's higher than average moral-wise, because we have a hero here, Beowulf, who is physically very strong, adapts to things, but also he's not a hubristic person. He hasn't got a massive ego. After he's done, he leaves. He's not there to win hearts and minds. He's not there to take over. He's there because, you know what, I've won this battle. I'm going to go home. When else does that happen?
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So to actually have a quite virtuous hero, that's, it's pretty unique. I want to say 5 or 6.
5 or 6, yeah. I agree.
Which one?
Maybe a 5.
Is it in the middle? Because I think it's slight. No, 5's fine.
Nah, I think if anything, it's actually slightly less. I was
Five.
going to more 4 or 5. Okay, we've got 5.
Creativity.
Then we've got creativity. These are how creative the narrative wasn't that. I mean, it was kind of creative. You had like these serpents. You had Grendel's mother. The idea that the whole, like, I guess, the concept of Grendel's mother coming back to avenge her son, that was unexpected.
Although I would,
The people in the town certainly didn't see that coming.
yeah, for a second night in a row, I would actually argue that the story is kind of a carbon copy of the first one, really, but slightly different. So you have a indescribable monster sneaks attacks, steals someone away. They send Beowulf after it, and then mutilates it, and then they celebrate. It's kind of the same story, but with a slight.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah,
Um,
just the different.
but there are obviously intricacies there which are different and interesting. But
I think it was interesting to hear about like how the fight scene was really creative and how he had to swim past all these serpents to get there, and how he had a mass, like they really described the fight, how he like threw her shoulders against the wall as she like threw him in the ground. She went to stab him, but it didn't work. He went to chop his head off. Her head off didn't work. He's then like she then destroys his sword, like knocks his sword out of his
yeah,
hand. He's like, oh my god. He sees in her lair there's a sword, presumably from the skeleton of like someone else who tried to do it. He picks up this massive sword that does work. He then sees Grendel's dead body. He's like, "Oh, I'll take that as a trophy." But Grendel's like the point. You know how his blood was poisonous and like
yeah.
melted the sword. That was pretty
It's
crazy.
you know what you've sold me around. I think it's quite vivid and more so vivid than last time. But then again, we did see a man's arm being ripped off. But I think I think that's good. Yeah, maybe a 5 or a 6 again. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I also found it quite vivid the idea that his men would be waiting by the lake for being after a few hours. They'd be like, you know what, it's getting dark. He's not coming back. And just as they all start turning back up the mountain, he comes out like, like with the head. That
You
would
know
be
what?
badass.
This is quite a dramatic shot.
Looks like Daniel Craig coming out of
Yeah,
the lake.
this is theatrical. Actually, do you know what I mean? I think it's interesting.
6 or 7?
Yeah, you know what? Let's go for brain. Well, my heart wants 7, but my brain says 6.
I think 6.
Yeah, 6 is fine. Also, Dad, how long would you wait if you were in a situation with you're waiting with your men to see how long Beowulf takes? How long would you wait to see? Ah, he's probably dead.
I would wait. I would wait a couple of hours. 3 hours.
I think I'm more like 25 minutes, and any more, it's fine. And finally, WTF, the kind of meta parts of the myth. And it's not as gory as last time, for sure.
No, definitely not.
But then again, poison, venomous blood, not poison blood, like a kind of acidic blood, cutting off a trophy's head, even though he didn't really kill it in battle. He did rip off its arm, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's a bit more gruesome, but it's not as honorable, perhaps. The fact that he went back to his family didn't cause trouble there, like politically. The fact that his sword didn't work.
It's not that high, is it? Come on.
And the severed guy's head. But nah, it's a few severed heads, but I'm thinking a 4.
I think a 3 or 4. Yeah.
I think the amount of severed heads in it is a 4.
Okay, go on then. Give it that.
So we have 2 for 2, 5, 6, and 4. So in total, it's 17.
17, yeah.
Quite low marking there. Not that much happened. Well, nothing new happened really.
You find that happens sometimes in the middle one of a trilogy.
But I think the third one's different from these two as well. So it should be interesting. Well, thank you so much for listening to us. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you. If you like what we do, why don't you share it with your friends? Just tell them all about Miss Podcast. That's how we'll grow and become even better. And beyond that, you can give us 5 stars on iTunes. That will also help us. You can also get in touch with us where?
You can email us, mythspodcast@gmail.com.
Send us baby names in.
Send those baby names in for Matt's niece or nephew. And then you can tweet us or go on or look us up on Facebook at Myths Podcast. You can join the Misfits page on Facebook. That's a little fan group we have.
Yeah, and beyond that, just be nice to yourself. It's tough times out there, so just be kind and but not to racists. So fuck them. So is that okay? I don't know. I don't care anymore. Dan, anything else to add before we go?
Thank you, Matt. Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm going to go off and do some activism right now, and whilst getting cancelled. Dan, what are you doing for the rest of your day?
I am going to probably just watch TV.
But that's why
because you're doing the activism stuff, so I already know that's someone on the planet is doing that. That's covered.
Yeah, that's how it works. Well, I've been Matt Hoss, and I'll be cancelled by next week.
I've been Dan Rhodes. Thank you for listening. See you next time when we conclude Beowulf.
See you soon, guys. Bye. Can't say bye as well.
Bye. Sorry, I forgot. Bye.
Myths. 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 Myths.
They tracked the monster to the lake where they found a shear's severed head. Sorry, you clicked and it flashed up Matt Hoss and I couldn't see the next word. They tracked the monster to the lake where they found a shear's severed head, which distressed everyone. They found the lake filled with unnamed... What are you doing with your cursor? It's really distracting me. I'm trying to read and every time you click on something, a big pink Matt Hoss appears, so it covers up the word I'm trying to read. Fucking get off. Looks like that as I'm fucking trying to read it.
It helps.
It's annoying, isn't it? Right. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Hoss. What are you doing?
I put it in bold and underlined it just to help. Just help.
Why?
Try and read it now.
It doesn't help. It confuses me. Yeah, actually, it's harder to read.
Now. Try and doing it. Oh shit! I actually deleted it. Sorry. There we go. There we go. Sorry about that, Dan. Sorry about that. I'm done.
You done? You happy? For the rest of us listener, we were on the...
What we done now?
You just deleted it. The text I was about to read. We've got this shared Google Doc that we read off of, and Matt is editing it whilst I'm trying to talk. And I don't know what he's doing. There we go. He's copying and pasting.
No, I changed the font size of it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This for me is like that time I started.
Yeah, just really small just to help us. Oh, that does annoy me quite a lot actually. Control Z, back to normal. Sorry, Dan.
Thank you. Stop it! Oh my god! If you edit this text one more time, I swear to God, I'm gonna come. I'm outside your house right now. I'm gonna knock through the door.
You're gonna rip off my arm.
I'm gonna rip off your arm, Grendel style.
Grendel style. Yeah, sorry, mate. Carry on. You're gonna do that bit again because you were a bit unprofessional there. You kind of, you didn't get the line properly.
Beowulf also foretold doom in the Danish. You can go suck a banana. I don't know. Is that an insult? I don't know.
For you, that's an insult.
For me, that's a massive insult. Yeah.